is like boop, 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 you know. It's like reading and it's like no beep beep family.
Nope, beep beep.
Yeah, we know these people.
So you can just call me Beep Beep from now on. And he's going, and he's still on it. Oh yeah, dude, good for you. Hello? Anybody out there? I have made fire! So I'm here with my niece, Laura, who I just met in person for the first time. And actually we met yesterday for the first time, and she is right here. That's Laura.
Hey, hey.
We had lunch yesterday and breakfast today, and we didn't get to do this yesterday, so here we are today, and we're looking at that beautiful background. We're up on this hill. It's fantastic. But I thought it would be cool to share what happened and how we became uncle and niece. Obviously my sister, who I never knew. I met her for the first time at my dad's funeral. And you're in the sun, girl.
Yeah.
She just walked up to me with my other sister Cindy and said, "Hey, are you Todd?" Which is my first name. And I said, "Yeah, who are you?" They said, "Well, we're your sisters." It was at my dad's funeral, so that's kind of crazy. And I was just blown out because I was told my whole life I had my sister and my brother, and that was it. And so it was kind of a shock to me. But over time, I didn't even know. It's been years since then. I was 19 and I'm 55 now. And I came to Eureka for his funeral, and that's where I met him. But it was also years and years after that. And I never saw Juanita again since then, and I still haven't. But I did find out that she had 4 daughters and 2 sons. And all but one was born out of love. The others were, what would you say?
I'd say, well, she had like pretty severe substance issues and stuff, and she had been trafficked at a really young age, and so she had her first baby.
What do you mean by trafficked?
Trafficked.
Like
she was
pimped out?
sold. She was sold for sex at
Wow.
the age of 12, starting at the age of 12, and
Wow.
so at 13 she had her first baby by John, and then I was 4th of 6 that she ended up having with 6 different men, and I think she lost all her children except for the last one to the system, to child welfare.
Wow.
And so I'm one of the babies that she had, and she ended up actually going out a window and down a fire escape right after giving birth to me. So I was like kind of officially abandoned at birth.
It's terrible. I'm not meaning to laugh.
I was like, no, but I was placed in foster care and adopted by a really incredible family here. And so, but I'm super excited to meet Vinny Todd.
Yeah. Vinny Todd.
Vinny Todd.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Vinny Van Channel. Vinny Todd was my barbershop.
Oh, yeah.
I named it after Sweeney Todd, even though they're both my names. I started going by Vince and Vincent like years and years ago, and just stuck. So the first name is always Todd, but I moved it around when the barber license people switched it on accident, and it said Vincent Todd on my license. And I thought, that sounds a lot like Sweeney Todd, the movie with Johnny Depp. So I switched my barbershop to Vinny Todd's Barbershop, and that's the story there.
Okay, there you go.
So, yeah.
You go by Vin or Vincent?
What's that?
You go by Vincent?
Yeah,
Like,
typically Vince or Vincent. But anyway, so I met her online, and I just chatted for what? How long ago was that? A long
that
time
was in
ago.
2016?
Yeah, so
Like 8 years ago?
I dreamed about van life and traveling and all that stuff, and here I am traveling. I ended up in Eureka, and she lives 5-6 miles down the road in Arcata, and I was like, okay, guess what you're doing today after work? And I just texted her or on what was it? I called you actually on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
And that's how she found out I was in town, and we've been hanging out. So I thought it would be cool for her to tell a little bit of her story, because I find it very interesting. And so
I'm
I
34
believe she,
now.
I think she's a liar.
No, born in 88, so
I think-
34 for sure.
Okay. I said she was more like 22 or 3 or something. What do you think, guys? Put it in the comments. That's funny.
Yeah, I was born in 88. Well, I was like, what were you asking?
I was just saying, you went through a rebellious childhood.
No,
And-
no, I was a really good kid. I was raised by a really sweet
Oh, were you?
family.
I thought you had
I
a
wasn't
dark
rebellious.
time.
No.
Okay.
No,
I'm
I
thinking of
was-
somebody else.
Yeah,
maybe
no.
myself.
I was like, I mean, I was rebellious, but I never got caught.
Right.
But I had a good, really sweet family and stuff, and so
Lucky.
I was a good kid.
So you got off good. When she went down the fire escape or out a window and out of fire escape or something, she did you a big favor.
Yeah, I ended up being, she bounced out, and then they invited, a foster parent to come start visiting me in the hospital, and I ended up going home directly from the hospital to the family that I was adopted in. And then they continued taking little foster babies that are medically fragile. So they had over 120, 115 newborns.
Wow.
Like in foster care. And so I was raised in a family where there's lots and lots of little orphan babies. I think. So,
Including the one that wanted to kill you.
yeah. I think.
There's always one of those, right?
Yeah.
You're like the Cinderella.
We like the spicy ones.
Right.
I was like,
That's funny.
I was like, not so rebellious as much as like I was trying really, really hard to behave most of the time. I think. But I had really great adopted parents. So I was really lucky compared to a lot of kids that end up in foster care and stuff. And so currently I train foster parents, and I run programs that are dedicated to like education and child welfare and stuff. So I kind of made like how we're connected, through my bio mom and stuff, and sharing her story, like a part of my work that I do.
So you had some experience with this foster child thing, but you parlayed that pretty much into a situation where it's benefiting you now, and you work for yourself, right?
Yeah. I'm self-employed as a speaker and a trainer, and as well as being contracted to do like nonprofit work. And so I'm being asked to build a nonprofit for Humboldt County's Child Welfare Service currently.
Ooh.
And so I've done that, as well as like basically being able to speak about like my upbringing, where I come from and stuff, and Juanita's story enabled me to do
My sister.
work directly out of high school. I went straight to doing work in the Capitol for foster care legislation. So I did a lot of lobbying in the Capitol, and so working with senators and assembly members to draft foster care like legislation, reform the foster care system. So
Yeah, that's
I've
cool.
been able to like kind of take like being born in that kind of chaotic place and use it as being kind of a front row seat to some of humanity's biggest problems. And so using all that personal experience to try and like
That's
help
impressive.
others. Yeah. I was like, I'm trying. I was
Right.
like,
No, that's great. I think it's super that you had success in that area of that area.
I wanna-
Somehow you have been successful. Go ahead.
yeah, and I want to travel like you traveling. Like I've been able to do some traveling internationally. I've been to Japan and Bali, and I toured,
Whoa.
you know, like backpacked in like Northern Europe, like in like all the Arctic Circle.
Oh, that's sick.
And stuff. And so, but like in terms of exploring the United States and stuff, and like spending time, I was like, I want to do a journey like you're doing.
Yeah.
That thing.
Well, let me make some suggestions about that since I know so much about van life now. I've been doing it for 2 weeks. Listen to Vinny Van.
Veteran.
Veteran Vinny Van. Vinny, what is it? Van Life Veteran Vinny Van. That's a mouthful there. No, and I've learned a lot of things in a short period of time. But the first thing is, if you're going to make a decision to go van life and traveling, get a van where you're not walking on your knees all the time. My knees hurt, man. My knees hurt. And I'm not young, so I can't handle that stuff. It's like, it's hard to walk on your knees. And I said the other day, I was trying to get out of the van, but it was like, so my legs are cramping up. And then the next thing I know, I have all these messages about electrolytes. People were giving me like formulas and stuff to drink every day, and you won't have cramps in your legs. I'm like, no. You don't understand. It's because they were saying, eat a bunch of bananas. I'm like, I do.
Do you think you'll ever make it to Alaska?
I mean, you got to go through Canada to get to Alaska, and apparently, even if you're Canadian, they're not letting you in right now.
Oh,
so,
damn. Yeah, 'cause it's gorgeous up there.
No, I want to go to Alaska. I would love to go to Alaska. There's a lot of people that have. I'm going to have to go to the channel to where I can actually stay on the van and stay on the road, because I'm on a short-term thing right now before I have to go back to work, unless my subscribers get behind me somehow. And I don't have that many, so it would take a lot. So
like and subscribe. I was like, recommend the channel.
So what is it that you see yourself van lifing? What do you see yourself doing in the near future? Do you have any plans?
I have a meeting coming up to start a new project in terms of, like I said, like developing some nonprofit stuff of, they're looking at trying to like destigmatize foster care and that kind of stuff. And so they're working on some media. So I might be doing some video editing and interviewing, kind of like you're doing. Yeah. But they want to talk to people here locally and stuff and try and create system change that way. And so I might do that, but I was like, everything's kind of up in the air right now with how crazy COVID's been and stuff. I was like, I kind of got thrust back out into the world, and so I'm figuring out what I want to do, you know, with myself. And
what about like fun things? What do you like to do?
I like doing art. I like drawing.
Are you a good artist?
Yeah.
Can you draw really well?
Yeah,
I think you can. Okay, I'll have to hit you up. We'll have to commission you for the Vinny Van channel.
Oh yeah, we get logo. That would be dope.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like,
that'll be dope.
Yeah, super dope.
Totally.
I was like, I could draw a van. I was like, van.
And what else?
I was like, I don't know. I've flirted with the idea of apprenticing to tattoo. So
really?
I've been offered that. That's a potential like route that I could go if I wanted to make like art more like a passion on that. But I'm traditionally in kind of like a storyteller and a speaker. And so I was just doing like speaking tours. And so I could incorporate like a speaking tour kind of setup with van life potentially, and like travel to different cities and speak, because I have a lot of connections with child welfare and stuff that I can work with other counties,
right,
and give them kind of a model for system change kind of thing.
That's right.
I don't know. I was like, I also would like to travel internationally more, a bunch. Yeah. I was like, that's like goals and things.
I have traveled a little bit internationally, but with the band, and not as a pleasure thing. Even though it was kind of pleasureful being on tour and having everything given to you, it was different than being free. And I'd be happy with the United States and Canada and Mexico if I just had that freedom to stay doing this and keep out there. So I'm trying to figure out what my niche is. Maybe it's interviewing people. Maybe it's something else. I don't know. I mean, you got to convince people to let them interview. Yeah, and I almost didn't convince you. So
no.
I mean,
I get shy.
Well, you're shy, and you're a speaker, and you're a trainer, and I understand. I was shy too, and I would sing in front of thousands of people. And it was just a mechanism, you know. You turn it on, you turn it off, and the smaller crowds get you.
Right.
Like if you're in a club, it's so much harder than a huge crowd. And one-on-one or two-on-one or whatever, just a small conversation, little groups, they make me like want to vomit. I can't do it.
Apparently we're supposed to reframe the nerves as because like it's identical physiologically, it's really like similar to excitement. And so if you're able to reframe yourself as thinking like what I'm feeling isn't isn't fear as much as preparation for success and excitement for whatever's coming, then you can actually kind of like change your thought process about it. You're like, oh no, I'm excited. I'm not scared.
You're preaching to the choir. She's preaching to the choir. You fixed yourself. There you go.
Right? Yeah. It's all about perspective, you know?
Right.
I was like,
that's awesome. What is the question again?
I guess I'm like wondering what gets you excited about the next couple weeks or the next day ahead of you. How do you...
The next year,
Yeah,
the next 5 years. Well, I've been on a journey of health myself, and I don't know what it's like to feel good. Like, your good is not my good. You might have heard people say that. Like, I could say, oh, I feel good today, but that's not the same as you feel. Like, I don't feel good. And when I feel good, it just means that, man, I want to do something, you know. I have the energy right now, but at 2 o'clock this afternoon, I will fall over and want to take a nap. But that's why I'm doing this Vinny Van channel, because not only do I want to get well, but I want to be well enough where I can help others. And that's why I wanted to do this interview, kind of kick off the channel with this awesome meeting that you and I have, you know, met and gotten to know each other. And I feel like you're going to be part of my life. And
I hope so.
Yeah,
I was like, you can't get rid of me.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, you weren't there, and then you're there.
Yeah.
And you're awesome. And I appreciate you. I love you. You're my family.
I love you too.
And so, you know, when you just meet somebody for the very first time yesterday in person, that's insane to feel the connection, the family connection, and just, you know, we're blood. And she was adopted, and like she said today, every time you ever meet somebody, you see something in their eyes or something, and it's recognizable.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And
anytime I've met biological family, especially, you know, being adopted and stuff, like there's just an instant connection and like a comfortability. It's like we have known each other our whole lives, but we haven't, you know. But there's also something like, I don't know if it's genetically or something, but just looking into your eyes or just seeing your face and stuff, there's something like a familiarity to that genetic closeness that feels like instantly like someone I trust, kind of, or, you know what I'm saying? It comes like, it's like you're like automatically vetted. My brain is like boop, 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 you know. It's like reading it. It's like, no, BB family.
Nope, BB.
Yeah, we know these people.
So you can just call me BB from now on. I'm BB.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I think it's dope. And there's always like shared, like the fact that you're doing this YouTube channel and stuff. Like I said, I've been studying or watching or you know, like being deeply consumer or of that kind of YouTube content.
TikTok,
and I've wanted
YouTube,
social media stuff, and I've like been trying to break out to like create content and that kind of thing. And so I'm just super inspired that I have a relative who's like already deep into this. You have 200 videos up. Like, I'm just really inspired by how much content.
200 stupid videos of me jibber jabbering about
That's
nothing.
How you start
630 subscribers though, with nothing up, and this is the beginning of content. This is the beginning.
Yeah, totally. And I'm trying to convince him to make a TikTok. So
I have a TikTok, but I don't feel like I know enough about it to. I'll tell you what, you want to run my TikTok? Go ahead.
Right, I'll manage it.
Like, I got the videos. I mean, if I put something up as a short, it could also be put up as a TikTok, right?
Yeah, totally, yeah, 100%.
I guess that's all right. I mean, it would be fine, but YouTube's my deal. But I'm here for getting healthy, one, for meeting new relatives, new and old. And I swear, I thought you were in your 20s. I told my daughter, Zoe, who looks like your sister, that, you know, you were in your mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Like,
34. But you're still super young.
Yeah.
Super, super young, which is awesome. Yeah, I'm excited about the future, period. And I'm glad that you're in it.
Yeah, same.
Absolutely.
And say hi to the viewers.
We're stoked. Yeah.
I was
like, subscribe, all the jazz. We'll catch you on the next one.